So you felt after awakening or liberation, so to say, that it just that you wanted to do something more compassionate. So this is when you became a psychotherapist. And did you enjoy doing that? Is this much different to like the way you talk to people now? Do you talk in different way to from when you were a psychotherapist?
Yes, it's very different. It's very different. What I do now is just speak honestly. I draw no boundaries. I'll just say whatever I think. If someone asks me a question, I will reply with exactly what comes to mind. As a psychotherapist, it's quite different. It's almost like being an actor. In that role, you control your communications in order to help the patient or the client. And there are many things that you might not say because you feel that the person you're working with is not prepared to hear them, or it would have a bad effect on that person. Also, in doing psychotherapy, there's a level of hypnotism involved. I don't mean the kind of hypnotism where you put someone in a trance, wave a pendant, but you make subliminal suggestions to that person in order. It's like medication. If someone for example, if someone came into the consultorio feeling very nervous and anxious, and you could see the anxiety, in that work, you would change your voice subtly, speak a bit more slowly, and you would throw phrases into the conversation like, it's really great to be relaxed. And that's not quite it. I'm searching for what I might have said. But you will throw suggestions into the conversation about relaxation, slowing down, feeling oneself. But when I've left that behind now, and the touchstone of my work is just complete honesty. I mean, I had a kind of awakening. It's confusing to use that word because people imagine all kinds of things. When I say I'm awake, people imagine all kinds of things, and I don't really intend that. They imagine all these kind of spiritual things. And this is not really about spirituality. Being awake is not about spirituality. Spirituality is a theory, a metaphysical theory, that there are spirits apart from, that there's a split between spirit and matter. And I don't see life that way. So when I say I'm awake, what I mean primarily is that I have no feeling of being a doer separate from doing. It's as simple as that. I mean, I'm speaking to you now, but the words are just coming. I have no idea where they're coming from, no idea. Robert Saltzman is not creating these words. I couldn't do that. And that is what I mean by awake. It's just a recognition that you can be without being the controller or the doer. You can just be. It's as simple as that. Nature or this aliveness is expressing itself. I may say something foolish or outrageous. I have done, and or someone might be shocked or dismayed by what I say, but it's not really my fault because I'm not censoring myself. I'm just letting it happen. And when we just let life happen and get into that flow, there's a tremendous sense of relaxation and vitality that the ordinary personality just can never achieve, no matter what it tries. You won't get there. And yet for me, it's just natural. I wake up in the morning, here I am, and we go on from there without any real intention, any outside intention. I don't know if I'm making that clear. See, I'm just responding.
Yes, it's very clear actually. You actually said in the 10,000 things, you said, people ask me what to do, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. So that was, I laughed and laughed.
Well, that's really true. I have no idea what I'll do next. And see, that's people are afraid of that, being out of control, because to be candid, people have all kinds of impulses that they think they have to control. I mean, when I say I don't know what I'm doing and I'll just do the next thing, well, what does that mean? Some weird sexual thing, or you'll eat too much, or whatever it is? No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It, I can't really put this into words. I tried in 2 books, but people still have questions. So I suppose that these questions will always be there, Sabine.
Yes. People often don't hear though. We listen, but we tend not to hear, I think. And although you really say so clearly, and I read through this and I go, oh my God, do people hear this? It's so obvious. Because when you said something really good about illness, how you were unwell, and how people expect you to be well all the time. You know, you can't be unwell if you awaken, you know. And this really got to me also, because you just said it's not like, you know, most pretend they're untouchable, but you so seem fragile. You so when you were sick, when you had your back pain, you know, you at times you were depressed, you know. And that is amazing that you can't, that you really, for me to hear that, I just knew there was a honesty there and I wanted to hear it, you know.
Oh, well, thank you. It's very good to hear.
Mm.
Well, I think there's a misconception about what it means to be awake. And that's because this spirituality thing got thrown into the mix, where, you know, Jesus was perfect and we're all supposed to be that way. And that's not my experience at all. My experience in life is that we're human. We're human beings, and we feel all kinds of things. And sadness is part of it. I mean, there's one of the things that I really dislike about a certain kind of spiritual teacher is they sit there grinning and telling you how wonderful it is to be awake. There are some wonders involved, but it doesn't mean that you never feel sad or anguished or ill. Not at all. What it means is that you feel fully human, probably for the first time in your life. You have this feeling of that it's okay to just be as you are. I mean, if I have a message at all, I'm not sure if I do or not, but if I have one, I think it was Ramana Maharshi who said, what you are, you already are. And I love that. I think what he meant by that is you don't have to strive to achieve some other state. Just be in the state you're in, and that will be it. And that's how I feel about all of this. Be yourself. You can't avoid it anyway. So as long as you keep trying to be something better than you are now, you're not here now. You're in this dream of what it will be like when you finally attain the great awakening or something. But the great awakening is here now. It's not in the future after you have learned more or you've changed your life around so that you deserve to be awake. I mean, you deserve it now. It's here now. And it's not a special thing that's only for a few geniuses. It's not like that. Everyone has the possibility of being right here in the present. Everyone. And I'm trying to express that. That's what I do in my writing and my stuff on Facebook. And fortunately, a lot of people have picked up on it. I'm really gratified by that. It's not my intention to be a teacher. I don't consider myself a teacher. I'm just sharing my own experience as honestly as possible. But it feels really great to hear from so many people that the words I've written or spoken have inspired them to be more present and to accept themselves as they are instead of trying to improve that. So I think that's the essence of it. Just be what you are and try that out with all the things you don't like about yourself, whatever they are. Maybe you need to lose weight. Maybe you're having these weird fantasies and wish you didn't. Maybe you have anxiety or you feel sad or you smoke too much or whatever it is. Just allow yourself for once in your life, I'm saying, to just be that way and just relax and then see how you feel then. You might like it.
Yeah, you did say you are yourself with all your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, but that's not what you are, but you are yourself with all your feelings, thoughts, and emotions,
Well,
isn't it? Yeah.
what we are ultimately is a deep metaphysical question. And, people take many approaches to that. Some people say, I'm the mind of God, or whatever it is, or there is no body, there's only consciousness. Well, all that stuff. I'm not really too interested in that, frankly. I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of that. That's just endless material for speculation. But myself, what I call myself, is thoughts, feelings, emotions, perceptions, moment by moment. That's the only myself we really have. It's whatever you think you are is what you are in that moment. Whatever you feel that in that moment is you. Your feelings are you. They're not. It's not as if there's a you, and then feelings come from the outside and kind of enter that you. The feelings are you. They're bubbling up from the inside. They're in your brain. They're in your heart. They're in your genitals. Those are feelings. That is you. It's why we say. It's why a woman might say, a man will never understand what it's like to be a woman. That's right. He doesn't have a woman's body. He doesn't have a woman's hormones. He's never going to have those feelings. There's no way. And so I'm speaking in general here because I don't want to offend anybody who has these difficulties about gender. So this is just a general observation. It's only an example. See, there's a perfect example. That thought came to my mind that there are people now who have this bizarre idea. I think it's bizarre that I'm not a man, I'm just performing a man, you see, and then gender is fluid. No, it's really not fluid, not in that sense. I mean, this male body, although it's an old one now, I'm 75, but it's still driven by testosterone in a way that a woman's body is not. Her body is driven by estrogen in a way that mine is not. That is me. It's not as if, as the spiritual people like to say, you're not a body. That's not true. Of course you're a body. Take this body away and there won't be a you. And you see that this is why I say I'm not a spiritual teacher. I'm not. I can't teach anybody to understand this if what they want to do is not exist. If somebody really is determined to say, I don't really exist, there's no such thing as Robert, it's only I don't know what they would say. I can't talk anyone out of that. So what I'm getting at here is my experience is not that I'm not a human being or an animal. I'm fully human, a fully human animal. That's what it means to be awake. You realize the condition you're in, which is you were born. You see, there's another one. I was never born and I will never die. You see, this is nonsense. It's just nonsense. I understand people have all these intellectual justifications for it, and they can make a big argument for, from jnana and Hindu mythology and all of this. I don't see it that way. I see that at a certain time in 1945, my mom gave birth to this body. The body had a human brain, and so it developed self-consciousness over the next 2 or 3 years. So now I'm 3 years old and I'm aware that I, Robert, am separate from other people. And I have my own likes and dislikes that other people don't share. I'm thwarted by other people's behavior, or I'm enchanted by it and all of this. And that is me. That's Robert. And what I'm getting at is when that is accepted by myself, that I am a time-limited being and that I'm going to die, then this moment becomes precious. There's really nothing to discuss, nothing. I don't need to seek anything. It's here now and it won't always be. And so that's what I'm sharing with people. And I think people find that liberating, to be able to admit to themselves that seeking won't get you anywhere. What you are already, and that's here and now.
And you said something about freedom. You said freedom is like also right here, right now. It's already there, but people are just frightened to acknowledge it. And you said the moment you acknowledge it, that's it. Something like that you said in your book. You just acknowledge that freedom, isn't it? You don't, yeah.
Well, you notice it.
Yeah.
You notice it or you don't in each moment. You see, it's not, if someone, when someone, this has happened often, when someone comes to me and wants advice on how to be liberated. I don't really love that word, but I'll use it now. To be liberated. How, what do I do, Robert? You don't do anything. You just notice that you really have no choice. That what is in this moment is. It can't be changed. It is what it is. And the next moment will be something else. I mean, I'm not a big advocate of meditation. I mean, if someone needs that, that's fine. I'm not speaking out against it, but I don't think that's really important. You could get the idea in 5 minutes if you're really open to it, which is you sit there and you just observe your own mind. You just watch it. And if you do that, you will see that thoughts just keep bubbling up. You're not making them, and you can't stop them. They just arise. This is out of your control. If you notice that and accept it, you will be free. You'll be free to just think whatever you think, which is what you have to do anyway. But if you're always working against that, see, and saying, oh, I mustn't think that. No, I mustn't think that. Or I must think this. I must be compassionate. I must be loving. No, you don't have to be compassionate. You don't have to be loving. You don't. You just have to be. And as soon as you realize that that's the situation, I am, as they say in I think that was Nisargadatta, yes. He said, practice, I am. I think that I'm not an expert on any of these people at all. I'm not a scholar of spirituality, but I think that's what Nisargadatta meant by saying, find the I am. I think what he meant is it's okay to be. Just notice that I am without trying to be anything, without trying I am. That just exists. You didn't make it.